Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome to this live webinar. We're going to talk about Nemesis platform version, release 1.0. You guys can hear me. Maybe you can send some comments. This is the first time I'm using Google Hangouts, maybe. All right, I hope you can hear me now, and I hope you can see me now. Cool. So, let's open the presentation. This is actually a live webinar, and we're going to talk about the new version 1.0 of the Nemesis E-Commerce Platform, and all the features that it adds and what they are. We're gonna walk through it, and we're gonna see what they are. So feel free to ask your questions in the question and answer section, and I'll try to answer them. All right. So here's a brief agenda of what we're going to talk today. I presume the audience is a mixed audience. So some of you have seen the platform already, and some of you haven't seen it. So that's why I'm going to take a few minutes in the beginning just to demonstrate how to set up a sample project out of it, and how to configure it, and how to create it. Basically, it's a 10-minute demonstration. And then we're going to move on to the second item, which is what's new in the platform, in the archetype, and the console. Well, for those of you who don't know, the Nemesis E-Commerce Platform consists actually of several projects. So the platform is actually all the modules and all the platform core and all the libraries that you can get and install. The archetype is actually a Maven archetype that you can create projects out of. And then we have also consoles, which are JavaScript applications that connect with via REST with your project, and then you can administer the backend side of your store. But then we're going to talk about a little bit about business-wise, how the company has been developing and so on. Then we're going to talk about a little bit where do we go from here? What are going to be our next steps? And a little brief in the future, what we are supposed to expect, etc. And then we'll have a Q&A session in the end. I hope to have some questions. Right. So first thing to do is I'm going to set up a sample project for you, just so we can play around with it and demonstrate new features. So in order to create a new project, you have to go here. On this website, it's called start.nemesis.io, and then this is our Nemesis initializer, where you can bootstrap a new application actually. So in the top, I select pretty much what I want, the type of the project that I'm going to be building. So in this case, I'm going to select I want 3 websites, one for B2B, B2C, and one for CMS. Then you provide some data here at the bottom. You choose the Nemesis version that you want. And it gives you, on the right-hand side, it gives you this command that you actually have to paste here, right? Just a quick note here in the workspace, I have no demo folder because I've deleted it already. And I can paste it here. So bear with me, this is going to be a demo on Windows, and I deliberately chosen to do it on Windows because I've heard some people talk and complain about Windows and so on. So after a few seconds, we have here a demo folder created for us. Next thing you have to do is build the project. Like I said, I used to work on Linux, and I love to work on Linux, and I actually recommend it for those of you who want to try the platform, because we have some limitations on the Windows environment. But nevertheless, I'm going to use Windows today. All right. So after this is built, here's what you have to do for a 5-minute project setup. Basically, you have to add our Maven repository in your settings XML. I haven't done this before, so I didn't do it now. But usually, you have to do it. Then you have to go to this website, start.nemesis.io, like I did, generate the command. Then you go to step number 3, enable to install, which will build the project and it's installed in your local repository. And after this has been done, we're going to proceed to create a database, and actually I can proceed with us as it is now. So I can go into -1, right? And proceed. Yes. Okay. I hope you can see it. So I'm actually going to drop database demo and I'm going to create a database demo so that you know I'm not cheating and this is just a fresh install. Right, how's this thing going? All right, so it's building the modules. I'm going to quickly also walk through the demo. What's inside the folder? Once we generate the project, what comes inside the folder? So it comes into several Maven modules. The first one is core, where you're supposed to store your JPA entities, also repositories and service layer. We have a facade layer, which actually converts the JPA layer into modules that we then hand over to the controllers. The controllers are stored here in the storefront, as well as the view. So the view is stored here, and we also have a modules folder. So in modules folder, you can basically write your own modules. Like in this case, I created Elasticsearch and Solar Search modules. These modules, Elasticsearch and Solar Search, extend the modules that come from the Nemesis platform, and they add some attributes to be exported to Solar. So where I put them in. Right, so finally this one is built. It has been built. I can move on and I go to storefront. Right, and then I have to issue these commands. Init schema, right? What init schema is going to do for you, we have our own plugins called Nemesis Maven plugins. So what init schema is going to do is it's going to detect all of your database drivers in the class path, and it's going to go through them and it's going to create SQL files for initializing the database. Because remember, I just dropped it and now it's empty. So if we go to src main resources, I'm going to have to wait for a little bit until it's ready. All right. So, like I told you, it's going to create SQL files that then we can run and apply on the database. Right. So it's going to create src main resources, db migration, and then because I have H2 driver in the database in the class path, MySQL driver in the class path, and Postgre in the class path, it creates these SQL files here. Let me run the initialization, and again, initdb, Maven Nemesis initdb is the plugin. If I open one of these, so there's like create tables, create foreign indexes, foreign keys, etc. So pretty much preparing all the table structure in your the database, and it's going to run it only for the one that has only for the URL of the connection to the database that we're using. In this case, I'm using MySQL. And nevertheless, I have all these 3 folders. It's going to only run the MySQL file. So what's happening here is Maven Nemesis initdb, where we are performing initialization on the database. The initialization consists of first dropping all the tables in the database if they exist. Second of all, what it says here is migrating schema demo to version 1.0. So it's applying this is the second step, which is applying the SQL that I just told about. It's applying the SQL which creates the tables. Then the third step is actually importing some CSV, files with some content, because empty database is nothing, even though it has tables. right? So it's going to import all these CSV files from src main resources meta import data, and we have the version number because we have to do it now. And these are, because I told you I'm generating a project for 3 websites, so I'm going to create 1 platform instance with 3 websites. And Nemesis is our company website. It's just CMS and content. PolarUpRel is a B2B website, which is still in the it's still in progress. It's still being developed. SolarUpRel is the B2C website that we're going to talk about. And finally, it now starts synchronizing the catalogs, because the CSVs are actually importing in the stage catalog. We're now synchronizing everything from the stage catalog into the online catalog. While it's doing that, I'm going to quickly walk you through and give you an example of one of these, just one of these CSV files. So what we have here is on the top is we have a merge, which is a JPA command, and then we have the entity full qualified name, and then with comma we separate all the attributes that we want to import. In this case, UID, catalog version, and then in square brackets we can specify, a default different processes. Let's put it this way. So we have a default. We'll specify a default value if no value is provided here at the bottom, like you can see, it's an empty. And then we also have this ATTR processor, which says load if you find something on the next line, load it with catalog UID UID. So you get the idea. It's going to load some. This is not good. It's empty, but let's try another one. Let's two. Oh, the CMS is good. So let's. Right. So if on the bottom we find something like this, it's going to replace the catalog UID with this, and it's going to search for a UID in the database, and it's fine. It's going to create association. All right, how's this thing going? All right, it's just finished. 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Just because I'm on Windows, I'm going to have to start. I'm going to have to start with Java -jar and then the name of the workflow. So it's target storefront and work. You don't have to do this if you're on Linux. You can always run the Spring Boot plugin, Maven Spring Boot run, just like what it says here on the slide. Maven Spring Boot run will run the app for you. If you're on Windows, the class path gets too big, and then there's a Windows limitation on the length of the command, and then it fails. So just very quickly, we can see also what's the result of the build. We have a storefront var, which is 200 megabytes. We create 1 artifact. Our build creates 1 artifact, and it's 200 megabytes. Now, if you quickly walk through the storefront folder, which is the folder that gets zipped to our war file, we're going to see, in fact, that actually this is the biggest folder in the whole archive. Right? So it's 192 megabytes of content. So all the libraries that we use are actually here. So in fact, the source code that we have written is really not that much, but the fact that we're using so much open source and so much libraries from the internet makes the whole WAR file 200 megabytes. All right, so this one is going to start now. In the meantime, we can proceed with the presentation. All right. So what's new in version 1.0? Well, as you know, we had a few 0 point something releases. We had a 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, and now we're jumping straight to 1.0, and this is purely because of the fact that we had a big gap. 0.8 was released in December, if I recall, and then we had a 4-month gap, and purely because our drive is to have one release every month. And because we had such a big gap, we decided to skip 0.9 and go straight to 1.0. Here's the technical stack of this release. We're stepping on Spring Platform Born 2.0.3 release, which of course brings Spring Framework 4.2.5 and Spring Boot 1.3.3. We could have waited for another week, and then we could have, because I'm hearing suggestions that Spring Boot will release next version next week, sometime around 5th of May. Well, we could have waited and we could have done it, but we wanted to have this release on 27th, and we broadcasted quite a lot, and we invited a lot of people, so there wasn't really such a big incentive for us to wait. On the other side, we're planning to release one release each month, so next month, around 28th of May, you can expect to have Nemesis 1.1, which will step on the new Spring Boot. We have also Spring Data Ghostling, so it's release 4. Still waiting for the new data hopper, which will of course upgrade to Solid 5. The good old JPA 2.1 with the latest Hibernate 5.1 and Tomcat 8.0.32. This is so the demo application has started, and we can see what it looks like. Right? So we can go to localhost 8112 storefront/site equals Solid. The site parameter actually indicates which site you're going to view, because, like I told you, this is one instance of the platform which actually serves several websites. The Solar is the Solar URL, which you can of course also access on solarupurl.com. This release on solarupurl.com is actually quite old, so we're gonna ship a new release these days. Right. So this is the B2C website, like I told you. We also have another one, which, sorry, we have, interesting, what happened with CSS? Oh yes, now this one doesn't have currencies, and the locale is actually EN. It's not EN US for American English. This is a pure CMS website, which actually hosts our company website, and the other one is a B2C website. Cool. So let's proceed. What's new in this release? We have a new annotation processor. We have completely rewritten the annotation processor. It's now a lot faster, and it has several new features. For instance, if you remember correctly, first of all, the core is where you keep your JPA entities, and as you may know, they get generated, and they get generated here in this target generated sources folder. So it wasn't very convenient, because if you want to override in the previous annotation processor, if you want to override one single field, you have to redeclare the whole class and actually redeclare all the annotations, etc. With the new annotation processor, if you want to redeclare one, if you completely don't like the way one entity is generated, you can create exactly the same class in src main Java folder with the same package name and the same class, and it's going to skip the generation in target generated sources. It's going to completely ignore it, and then it's going to use your JPA entity. All right, what's next? What's next? So we have a new jobs API. Well, we made a demo to some of our partners, and we get a feedback that's the jobs. The way to create a new job is quite cumbersome and quite heavy. So we decided to create a simple API to create jobs. Now, right, so the new API actually provides two interfaces. Right? The one is called the runnable scheduled job, right? And you have to override these methods get cron expression, which will return you the expression of how often do you want to plug the cron to run, and then of course the run method, which actually tells what is going to happen with this job. And the other one is called single-step schedule job, which follows the JSR for creating batch jobs. You have to override the get item reader, get item processor, and get item writer, and of course the cron block expression. So whatever is read from the get item reader is being passed to the item processor, and it's being processed, and then it's being passed further down to the item writer, and it's being written down. For those of you who know the JSON of the batch, it's pretty much a batch job with a single that we construct with a single step and one item reader being provided to provide, one item processor, and one item writer, which eventually should make it a lot easier for you to develop jobs. What else do we have? Well, we have a SendGrid integration. So we have decided to create a module for SendGrid. Let's see. Let's quickly walk through the B2C website. Because time is running out. I didn't expect it to take so long, but all right. So the B2C website is purely a website that you can buy female lingerie or bathing suits, etc. The first request takes a little bit longer because the JSPs are not compiled. Usually for again. I can go to the product detail page, I can add to the basket, and then I can clearly go and check out. Now, what we have done is we have created, so because I don't have any customer, I have to register. All right. Very quickly, what we have done is we have created a SendGrid integration, so the email now, as soon as you create our SendGrid module, the emails are automatically sent by SendGrid instead of a missing cookie, so that you have to configure username and password, etc. And also you get a text message. Right, so I can go and check my email, and there it goes. We have registering. It's an email delivered by SendGrid. It's also a nice thing about SendGrid is that you can actually not sure I remember my password. You can actually log in and see how many times the email was open, how many times the link was clicked, etc. So you can track all your email from here, and the integration is pretty straightforward. All you have to do is drop the SendGrid implementation model just as a Maven dependency, include it in your point, and there you have it. So next thing, let's go. We have done a reCAPTCHA. Like if I want to show you this, I'm going to have to log out here. Well, and the reCAPTCHA actually is configured with a property. So every time you come here and you click sign, if you log in with valid credentials, you get this error. But if you try it a second time, then you get a reCAPTCHA that is running on localhost. So this is all configured by a property. You can set up how many failed attempts you want to have before you show the captcha. And just to make sure it all works. All right. Okay, my account. So next thing what we have done is we have a messaging. Well, you just heard my phone receive. Thank you for registering SMS, and this is purely because we have a Twilio module. Our Twilio module is again easy to integrate as ever. You have a Maven dependency, and you have to just declare it in your home XML. Okay, there it is. So we just declare it as a dependency here, and immediately it registers an application event listener in Spring, and it will send you email. It will send you SMSs to certain application events like user register, user place an order, etc., etc., and so on. And of course, you can override it and in Spring and inject your implementation and so forth. So moving forward, what do we have? We have a Stripe and PayPal integration. All right, we provided two. Let's quickly add that. product card. Let's choose this one, and then add the card, checkout. All right, I'm going to have to add address. Choose something, put something here, save it in my address book. Cool. Choose a delivery method. Through the delivery for $22. Click next. Right. So when you come to your payment page, we have this section here where you can choose hosted order payments. Because I have a PayPal as my module, I receive this button here for check out with PayPal, and you can click it. You get redirected to PayPal. In a second, close. Yeah. Now you have to log in with your super secret password. This is all again sandbox, and it's just fake credentials, etc. It's taking a while, right? And then you could say all your details, and click continue, and eventually get redirected back to our website. In a second, yeah. And now you're on the confirmation step. Or you can alternatively go back to your payment details section and not choose PayPal, but instead, we have this section where you can silent order page, where you can use our silent order page providers. In this case, they're going to appear here in the drop-down. In this case, I only have Stripe in the drop-down because it's in my enable module. And I can add my name. I can add my bank card. Select expiry date, put in my fake code, save it in my account, and now it's done. So I agree to the terms and conditions and click continue. Now, while this happens to place the order, I'm going to go to Stripe, and I think I can open dashboard. Do I have to log in? No? That's interesting. Right, so you can see all your transactions here, and I'm in the test mode here. I can see all my transactions. Yeah, and here it is. This one is today from 1959. And I can come and I can see release the authorization, or I can capture it. Yeah, it's captured here. It's captured now. This is actually a real integration. It's not some fake pages or limit pages, just being mock pages being just presented to you. This is actually a real integration with real tokens exchange, etc. So all you have to do is actually switch to the live URL instead of the test URL, and then you're ready to go. And we're back on the website. It says thank you for your order, and your order number is 001. We can go now to my account section to continue to explore the website, or we can see what else we have here. All right, fraud detection. This is something I actually forgot to mention. We have created a module for Riskified in this version. Actually, we're planning to release Riskified. We have implemented Signified for now. So let's. If you go to Signified, you're gonna see here all the orders that you have placed. This one is placed today, 12:57 p.m. I believe it's this one. And you get also a score of 692. So the way Signified operates is actually when you place your order, you send it to them. They evaluate the credit card number, the address of the user, his Facebook, his Twitter, etc., just to make sure that he's a real person. And they give you a score, and then you can actually ask them to say, hey, is this valid order, and they can a human can actually check it or not, or you can go and actually say, yeah, this is valid because for me it's not. So this is our module is again the integration is pretty straightforward. Add the Maven module in your form XML, and then you receive immediately Signified integration. Furthermore, what do we have? We have a public wish list. All right. Now to demonstrate this one, I'm gonna have to add something to the wish list. But before that, I want to quickly show you profile. This is where the user can change their username and password and email, etc. The address book is where the user keeps his addresses, but they can default delete one or add a new one here on the right side. Payment details is where the user has his payment methods, and they can add a new payment detail here on the right side again. The order history again is a history of all your orders, and you can view what you have bought, or you can click return and get a return, etc. And the last one is the wish lists. Unfortunately, I don't have any wish lists now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the product page. Here's the product page, and because I'm logged in, I now see two this new link called Add to Wish List. If I click it, it says this product was added to your wish list, because we create a default wish list if you don't have one and you want to add something to your wish list. So I can click on wish list, and I can see it as this default one. And the star is black, which means it's default, etc. So now we have, in this new release, we have this new checkbox here called is public. Right? So if we click it and save it, immediately we also get like a share on public and share on Facebook buttons, and also a URL that you can copy and open and view what's there, and we can proceed, add it to the bot, etc., etc. So this way you can create several wish lists. The idea behind all this is that you can create several wish lists, each one for your birthday or etc. Send it to your friends and say, hey, I really love to have these items. Feel free to pick any of them. If you come into my closet. So moving forward, what else have we included in this video? Microsoft Azure Storage. Well, as you probably know, we offer the only way to store media. The only way that we offer to store media up to now was Amazon S3. Because we're trying to build a cloud platform, and we don't really believe that storing it on a hard drive or on a disk somewhere is the right way. So we're offering Amazon S3, and it works ever since the first release of Nemesis. But we decided that we want to offer something as an alternative, and we went for Microsoft Azure. Again, the integration is pretty straightforward. All you have to do is place it here. I think I'm using here S3, the S3 model. But if you want to use the Azure, just replace here the S3 with the Azure, and of course change the properties for connecting. We also have several properties to connect to Azure. And one thing that you have to be aware of is that Microsoft Azure doesn't support folder structures, etc. So if you want to support folder structures or something, you have to name your file names with a certain name. So for instance, if you call it A/B/C, you could imagine that this is probably some sort of folder structure. But keep in mind that you have to add those folder names inside the name of the file. And of course, we recommend S3 to be fair, but it's a good alternative to have Microsoft Azure. Next thing, well, social. This is kind of interesting one. Well, to demonstrate this one, I'm going to have to log out and try to register as a new user, but with Twitter, right? Because now I'm going back. Now I'm doing the OR dance. And I'm going to Twitter, coming back. It says no existing social connection was found. Please register. And I said, okay, cool. I'm going to have to register. So I can use this email, and I can use some password. All right, create an account. Bam, and I'm registered. Okay, so now I can go to Twitter. This is actually the user that I'm logged in. This is the kind of things that this user likes, just surfing and all these kind of things. And I can search, but when I'm starting to search for something new, I go for crypto, right? I go to that page, and I follow them because I like them now. And then I go back to my test user. This is some tools that I've been doing, and I can unfollow some of these girls because I'm not into them anymore. And in the meantime, you can follow log here. You can see something has been happening. It says customer feedback as followed, recall, customer feedback as unfollowed, blah blah. So I'm going to explain you how this works later. But for now, let's just go to the home page, and we get this banner that says Rip Curl Mar Bikini blah blah shop now. So this was like a very basic example with what you can do with this module, but it's quite obvious and quite interesting one. So what happened behind the scenes is that we actually, when the user registered with Twitter, we created a connection that stores the OAuth token, and then we actually subscribed to the Twitter Stream API, and we were following. So every time he likes something, dislikes something, tweets about something, adds something to as a handlebar in his tweets, we actually get to know what his preferences are like, and based on this, we actually show him, because he liked Rip Curl, we show him the Rip Curl banner, and we can give him a special type of promotion, or we can tell him that there's a new category that's visible to him or only to him, or etc. These kind of things, like personalize the whole experience of the customer based on his social preferences. All right, enough of this one. It actually was a good one because it demonstrated my next slide, which is a pop-up widget. As you know, our CMS is derived by pages and page templates, and we also have slots, and then on the slots we put widgets. So this is a new widget that we added. So it's added here in an invisible slot. So every time I go to this page, once the page has been loaded, I see the banner. So this is a pop-up widget that we added in this release. We added a product compare widget. Right? So I go now back to the product listed page, and I mouse over to this product. We see here the plus symbol on all these products. So I can click it, and then I get this bar on the top, and I can select several of these. And when I'm ready, I can click on compare, and then there's an Ajax call, and this beautiful call comes in and shows us what's the comparison between these products. It's actually a widget. Again, it's a module, but it's actually a widget. So if it's only displayed on the pages that put the widget on. So if I now go back to let's see, I go to my account, for instance, this widget is not there, so you don't see it on the top. It's only displayed on the page that it's being put on. So I can go to women's or to any category page, any list page, and I can see it. I can go to the product detail page, and I can still see it on the top, and I can also add to from here, and it's going to stay on the top. So again, it's a widget. You have to put it on the pages that you want, and this is pretty much it. We have the sitemap module. The sitemap module will actually generate a sitemap XML for you. So as soon as you declare it here, so as soon as you declare the dependency in your cron XML, it will actually register a cron drop once every day. The default value is once every day at night. It will call for your products. It will call for your categories and content pages and products and everywhere. It's going to construct a sitemap XML, and it's going to notify. It's going to ping Google. So it's going to send a notification to Google and say, hey, this is my sitemap XML. I've done it, and please come and probe it. All right. What else? We have this personalization module. Actually, to show you this one, I'm going to have to fire up the console. All right, so this is our backend console that we ship with the platform. It allows you to actually administer and perform CRUD operations on the website. All right, so this is it. This is the login page. I have to log in. Again, it's a JavaScript application, so it starts really fast, and you can deploy it. You can deploy anywhere pretty much. Once I logged in with admin and my password, I see here that the whole tree. On the left side, demo is a folder, for my project and all the entities that my project added, because the name of the project was demo. Core is all the entities that come from the platform core, and all the rest here are just modules that are put in the platform in the class path. So as more modules you put on the class path, the more folders you will see here on the left side. And yeah, of course, if you remove one of the modules, you will not see its folder anymore. So you can open it and see actually the JK entity that you that are included in this module. I was talking about personalization, so this was a bit of it. So if I log in now with CMS Manager and password, and you can clearly see I have been given permissions only to see CMS, navigation, and commerce. Now all the rest is just not in my personalization scope. So I haven't been given permissions. I don't see it. Even if I perform REST operation, the server will reply and say, for free, you're not authorized to perform this action, etc. So this has been included in 1.0, and it's a nice feature. Well, Android demo app. We've also spent a few weeks building a demo app for Android, and to show you, I'm gonna have to perform here. I'm not sure if it can work. I'm going to have to find an app that I installed today. It's called Mirror. And if it's start now. I hope you can see it. So this is my phone now. Yeah, here it is. I hope you see Ninda. It's actually right here. This is the application that we have been developing. It's quicker, and then it loads products from solarapparel.com, right? So you can either swipe it this way. This means you don't like it. It's a bit laggy, but sorry about it. You can either swipe it this way. This means you don't like it. Click on this thing, which means you don't like it. Or let me find something there. Okay. Or you can swipe it this way, which means, oh, I love it. Or of course you can click on the heart and say, I like it. Or you can click on the product itself, and then you're taken to another view, which will give you a description, etc. So now I should have done this before, but you're probably not going to believe me. If you go to solarapparel.com, because this Android app is communicating with solarapparel.com, and if I log in with my user, and I go to my wish list, my default wish list, and I can see these girls that I just added, but probably because you're probably not going to believe me, I'm going to have to remove them, and oops. I'm going to have to remove them and perform the same operation again. Now this all operates over REST. So yeah, it's all gone. So now if I swipe it this way, no, yes, no, yes. Why is it so laggy? I have no idea. So and now if I refresh, they are the two items that I just added to my wish list. So this Android app is so this Android app is there for you to look into and see how we have done it and how we have built this application to over REST with the platform. So feel free to have a look at it. Next thing. Well, this is probably the final slide. We have improved significantly the documentation, and of course, there's a lot of things that needs to be improved. But this is an ongoing process, and we're trying to get there. It's just we don't have a lot of time. Right. So moving on. What's new with the archetype? Well, the archetype, the new thing I told you about is the way the ability to override a JPA entity. Now, if like I told you, if you don't like the way certain entity generated, you can clearly create the same entity. Even you can copy paste the source in SLC main Java folder, modify the way you want, and the one in the target folder will not be generated. So it's really helpful. The My Account Preferences section, I'm not quite sure I'll show you. I'm running out of time. But if I go to My Account section, there's this in the profile. There's this preferred language and preferred currency. Right? So I can switch to something and save your profile and update it, and I can log out and try to log in again with the same user. Right. Actually, it was the Twitter user. So I think I have to log in with the Twitter user. Yeah, this one. Right, so now that I log in with the Twitter user, you don't see a lot because the site has not been translated to Japanese, but you can clearly see that some content is Japanese, etc. That the language is Japanese and the URL shows Japanese language. So let's switch to English. Yeah, so this is a new thing that has been added to the archetype, a storefront REST layer. As you can probably know, like all of our database is exposed over REST. So you can see here all the promotional price, title entities, etc. All the database entities are being served here, and you can perform CRUD operations on them. And in fact, actually, it's the backend console that actually operates with these. But we now have also an API, /API and /. Not sure what it is. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Well, we have a REST API for the controller. So, and these REST APIs are being used by REST APIs are being used by the Android application. So they allow you to perform not just CRUD operations, but like logic. So add to cart, recalculate cart, optimize wish list, etc. Not just create new wish lists or remove wish lists, these kind of things. We have added a Docker image, and you can access it if you go to the Docker Hub, Nemesis. So we have a Docker image with a sample store, and there's a good documentation how to run it. So we have some new profiles. We have a Cloud Foundry profile. We have a Docker and a standalone profile where you can deploy to Cloud Foundry. Like we have done here in this case, with a simple CF push command, you push our application here, and then have it served from a cloud, or you can run it in a Docker container, or you can run it as a standalone jar, just like I'm running it now. Improvements in the consoles, quite very quickly. Now all the consoles, as you saw, are Spring Boot applications now. So I'm starting them as Maven Spring Boot Run. The backend has extended search. What this means is I can log in. I can log in, navigate to, let's say, commerce, catalog, product, and then I get these different kinds of tools. So I can search for online version of, let's see, solar clothes online, and then I can say is equal solar clothes online, and then I can only see the online product. We are showing all the entity properties, even if they're not, even if they're marked to be shown, but we are hiding them now under the system tab. So in this case, it's not really relevant, but if I go to CMS side, And I can open the CMS site and I can go to the system. I see enable 3D secure and is responsive. It was not specified where they should be shown, so we're sticking them here in the system. This is something new. We have a CMS, a multi-window in the CMS, and a drag and drop. And this is something I wanna show it to you. So let's quickly switch back to the CMS control. The CMS console is pretty much a console that you can use to administer your CMS side of your project. Again, I'm logging in, and like I see on the left side is my accordion with all the products I have, and on the right side is the live view of my site. So the only way that it was feasible to do things now was to actually right click and say if I want to remove a widget, I can say remove widget. This was how it was done up to now, and then you can search for a new widget and say I want to find a new logo and say copy and paste it. This was up to now. What we have done now is actually the ability to drag it and just drop it. It's quite intuitive, it's quite fast, it's very responsive. It's a nice idea. Then all you have to do is just clearly, if I try to open the website now, it has been changed because I haven't synchronized, of course. I'm just dragging and dropping different kinds of widgets, but I haven't synchronized. Again, I can right click and say edit slot, and then say I synchronize the slot, which is going to synchronize not only the slot but also all the widgets that are inside. Right? And we have two widgets, one for quick, one for normal, and one for mobile. And I can refresh, and there you have it, my Christmas logo. Cool. Let's move on because we should. Okay. How's things going in the business? Now we have signed several partnerships with Scale Focus, Ormond, and Alexis. Scale Focus is actually a multinational company with more than 500 people with headquarters in Bulgaria. They expertise in e-commerce. They have offices in Germany, London. They work with Telenor, with VMware, with big corporations. Ormond on the other side is a certified hybrid implementation partner with offices both in Valencia and in Amsterdam. Their focus is primarily on the fashion industry and building retailers and shops for retailers, especially for the fashion industry. They've done brands like Distinct, Costas Fashion. They've also worked for Heineken. Axis is a company actually specializing in discovering startups with big potential, with great potential. They focus on new innovative technologies, and they help these startups to reach new markets. They operate especially primarily in Benelux and the Nordics. We have signed several strategic alliances with Pivotal, with Docker, with Red Hat, with OpenShift, and with Hazelcast. So we're expecting to release a lot of content, how we're actually using their technology, especially on the Spring side, on the Cloud Foundry side, on the Docker side. So stay tuned. We're going to have a lot of blog posts in the future about this, and this is something that we're really looking forward into. What we've done last year is we visited the Spring One conference. There was a video recently. We attended the Webwing for Vardag in the Netherlands. We visited the e-commerce Paris and the e-commerce expo in London. We're attending in 2 weeks. We're attending the Spring I/O, which is going to be in Barcelona, and I'm giving a talk on Spring Data REST. Feel free to step in and see how it goes. And we're visiting again the Spring One conference in Las Vegas between 4th and 5th of August. If you're there, just give us a shout. All right, next slide. So a little bit about the roadmap. Our plan is this 1.0 we're considering a future-ready release. There's a lot of stuff in it. And our plan is to actually release one version, one minor version every month. So you could be expecting at the end of May, you could be expecting 1.1, end of June, you could be expecting 1.2, end of July, 1.3, and so on and so on. Our roadmap is that we have Nemesis 2.0 next March, alongside Spring 5 and Java 9 and Spring Boot 4. So this is our global roadmap, but we're also collaborating with Pivotal and with Docker, like I told you. And we're going to be releasing a lot of content on how we're actually using these technologies, and a lot of interesting stuff are happening. So, okay, I think I'm right in time. Any questions and answers? Okay, questions, answers. Okay, I don't see any questions, or maybe it's just me that I don't know how to operate with this Google Hangouts thing. So thank you all for your time. I hope it's been interesting for you. And I'll keep you updated with when we upload this to YouTube and when we have some new content. So thank you for your time, and yeah, that's it.